Hello, guys. Welcome to the first ever episode of the Brown Syndrome podcast. I'm really excited to present this to you all. To start off, my name is Yuvan Shriya, and I'm an Indian who is stuck in Mexico, 9,000 miles away from home, and I'm bored. So that's it.
And my name is Mehak, and sometimes I talk about my opinion in front of 10 of my friends who don't give a fuck. And now I can talk about my opinion to 100,000 people who don't give a fuck. So, yeah.
And my name is Arth, and this hopefully sick podcast was initially, my idea, and then I brought Yuvanch into it, and then Mehak was also interested, and we thought, we share the opinion of a not so intelligent person also, and this is where we are now. And and if I were to give you a general overview of, who the three of us are and what this podcast is, hopefully it's something different from what you could have possibly heard of, in a way that it gives you the perspective of what um 2 3 17 18 year olds in Bombay think, how they think in general. And yeah, that's about it.
And so, for the first topic today, we have decided to choose something that has universal appeal. And I think every single person has an opinion on it. And so, we would like to share our opinions on it and our beliefs on it. And it's not meant to hurt anybody or offend anybody. So, just please don't come at us. And so, the first topic is God.
Yeah, and I would just like to open the conversation by asking Mehak and Art that what are your beliefs regarding God or like a higher power or what do you think is God? What is your definition of God?
So I think for God, I don't specifically believe that God is a person or like a single
Yeah.
entity, and but I definitely believe in a higher power. I do think there's an energy that not necessarily like I don't want to be dependent on it, but I also know that
Mm-hmm.
there is something. But again, like when it comes to idol worship and all of that, I'm not really like I don't really like the idea of that so much. People devote
So
their
like Islam then. So
Yeah.
you um leaning towards Islamic values then.
Beliefs.
Yeah, and so like a lot of people like give out, they fully devote their lives to idol worship. Like they,
Mm-hmm.
and then blind faith comes in. Ki,
Mm-hmm.
like for just the most basic example, ki, I'll pray to this God and I'll like pass my exam. And like, before
Yeah,
every,
that's actually happened to me. Like one of my grandma, like before some exam, I was I didn't study that hard, but she thought I was studying hard. And like she was like, पढ़ क्यों रहे हो तुम जाके सिर्फ भगवान को प्रे करो हो जाएगा सब कुछ. And I'm like ऐसा नहीं होता
अरे
है.
ये सब बकवास तो मेरे हर एग्जाम के पहले मेरे को दही चीनी खानी पड़ती है, मेरे
yeah,
हर एग्जाम के पहले,
so,
हर एग्जाम के पहले.
so that's all
Bro,
good to
like
have
वो याद है like there are people in like before the paper that had Om on the top.
Jai
Oh
Like that's
fuck!
gonna
I
save
actually
you.
know someone in my school who used to do it. मेरे board exam में आगे
Yeah,
वाला बंदा है ना,
exactly.
he used to legit pray in the 10 minutes that you get for like,
Yeah.
they say you should meditate and shit. And this guy used to recite the Gayatri mantra in front of me
Bro,
every
I know
single
Hanuman
board
Chalisa.
exam.
I mean, even I've seen people who come with like tikas and all of that after before every exam. I mean, it's good that people have faith, and having faith is
Yeah.
good, but not like blindly believing in something and like believing that only
Yeah.
because I'm doing this is why something like it's going to be a consequence of praying. Like I don't support that. What do
Yeah,
you
of
think?
course.
Uh,
Earth
uh,
now, like your belief in your what is your
I
definition of
I
God?
have a, I mean I no offense to if you also have a similar opinion, but I have a very different uh point of view, in a way that I feel that you may not call it God and you may call it an energy, or let's just call it a superior being in this context of the conversation. Uh,
Uh,
since childhood, universally for centuries now, we've been told that these energies or whatever, this superior being is either is revolves around the fact that he has power and is benevolent. And according to me, uh, I do not think that either God is all powerful and he is all all good. And I do not necessarily
mm,
agree with that, because if he was all powerful or all good, there would not be 150,000 people dying from earthquakes every year, or just the most basic things like child leukemia, child molestation. How can there be a superior being and there be child molesters? or people dying from volcanic eruptions, people's livelihoods being erupted. And
Mm.
I'm on a certain point of view where I feel like there needs to be a certain amount of evidence for me to believe in such a
Yeah.
superior power. So, which is why they're they're called religious states, right? They're not called religious evidence. That's for a reason, which is why they're faith.
Mm.
And I mean, and I'm totally cool with if 50 years from now they find evidence that once upon a time there was a
So
like a hairy
it's
Smurf
like
who
you're
had a
saying you're
kid
not
with an
denying the
elephant
fact.
head. Yeah,
You're
I
not
cannot
denying that
deny the
there's
fact. I
yeah.
cannot deny the fact, but right now I'm under the belief that there isn't nothing, because if there was like that, like I just said, like if they have proof that once upon a time there was a god with an elephant head, I'm if they find it, like I'm totally cool with it. But right now, I feel like there is, and I get, I don't necessarily believe in faith, but I can see why people do. But I feel like the line crosses uh, faith, where your livelihoods are faith driven in a way that people start trying to pass legislation on it, on people that do not necessarily believe in it. And this is the fundamental groundwork for theocracy
Mm.
then eventually, like what is happening in our country. I don't want to get into a political debate right now, but what our government is doing right now with this, the Hindu fundamentalism, that they're not advocating, but they're underlying every single
Yeah.
uh, aspect of their political campaign revolves around the fact. And for years now we've had this knock, not we, but most Westerners, and even most Hindus, I would say, at least in past generations, we have this knock against Islamic people, where we consider every single Islam to be a religious fundamentalist, where all of them are terrorists, right? Like
Yeah.
at
It's a
least we've been
stereotype.
told by someone. Yeah, there's a stereotype, right? And I feel the people that we have knocked on for so many years, we are just becoming them. We may not have guns, we may just be cow lynchers, but you know
Mm.
it's the same thing, right? Like, which is why I feel like
Yeah.
religion right now is going in a very off direction. But that's just my
Mm.
thing.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's
I
fair enough.
completely
But
agree with that. It's
like,
absolutely true.
like I would just like to say my thing on the entire God thing. So I think I've told this to Art before in a conversation we've had way back. But I remember that I was thinking about this, and I felt like I told him there's the chance of us being alive, there's the chance of Earth even having plants, bacteria, cells, humans, fucking thousand species of animals or whatever. The probability of that happening was so minuscule, so tiny, that I believe that that tiny chance, it's impossible for it to just happen by luck.
No, but then you're entering a
Let me
separate
finish. Let me
debate
finish. Let me finish.
altogether.
Let me
Acha,
finish.
okay.
Let me finish. Like the one in, I don't know, trillion of trillion of trillion numbers, numbers that is not that you can't even compute. So the chance of us being here is so crazy that I believe that okay, there might not be a God, there might not be luck or whatever, but I believe that there is something above us that is looking over us. And then I cannot necessarily say that oh it's Jesus, oh it's Ram, it's Allah, or I can't say that, you know. But
No,
I
but right,
definitely
you're
believe that
entering
there's
into a
something.
separate debate. Yeah, but yeah, I get
No,
it. But you're entering into a separate
I'm
debate
not
where
saying, yeah, I'm not saying that I, I'm talking about God, but I am saying that this is my outlook towards God, because I'm not going to
no,
deny the fact that there isn't a God, or there is a God, or I'm not going to say anything certain because you don't know. There's no evidence. For all you know, tomorrow they might find out, oh, Jesus existed. And so I don't want to say that it's Jesus, Allah, Ram, or whatever. I just want to say that there is a higher being. And coming to your thing, what you said about like if God existed, there would be like thousands of kids dying and all that shit. But like that's one of the things to justify. Like when you're talking about Christianity, is like, oh, humanity has to pay for their sins, and so it has a little bit of logic when you think of it like that. That God is punishing us for our sins, you know. So it is their
what? One
that
second.
No, but
If I murder someone and if I get murdered, I get your logic. But a child who is born with birth defects, who
yeah.
has done, who has come into this world having done your so-called sins, he hasn't done anything. He
Mhm.
just come out and he doesn't have an arm, he doesn't have a leg, he can't breathe properly, he has or he has small lungs, he
Mm-hmm.
has one kidney, or his heart is in a different shape or something like that. How do you
Yeah.
explain that? And talking about the whole chance thing, that's a separate debate of how the universe came into being. Like,
Yeah, but
why
that's
does
the
the
thing.
universe come
Like
into being? But
the
then,
creation of the universe is a huge thing when you talk
but
about
then, why would God have
religion.
created a universe
Christianity
in the
believe
first place?
Christianity
Like,
says that
why did
no,
God?
listen. Christianity says that the entire universe was created by God in 7 days. So that's one of the things in Christianity. And like the universe, the creation of the universe is one of the top, like one of the beginnings of every religious story, beginnings of every god. So you have to talk about the creation of the universe, because the creation of the universe, I believe it can't just be by luck, because it's a one in a massive chance. And I believe that there's a superior being who is looking over us. And I don't want to say that it's a specific religion, and I don't want to say that
But
I'm
then
religious.
It's
you're
not related.
disregarding the whole Big Bang
Yeah,
theory.
Yeah,
Like the
but
whole,
there's the thing. There's the thing. Like I feel like it's crazy, like how lucky we were to even have the Big Bang.
yeah, but
it's
you're
just
not talking about luck here. We're talking about the existence
we're
of.
just talking about how
Okay,
one thing led to another.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you're talking about. We don't know if
Yeah.
somebody was behind it. Like one thing did lead to another, that led to another, that led to another. Now we are here. We
Yeah.
exist. So I think
Yeah.
that's the spectrum that you are on, but that's not related to, I feel like God. Like God did this. God made this happen. It happened. The probability
Yeah.
of it happening itself is obviously very, very low. Like how you said, like, one in like trillion, how much ever. This, but one thing led to
Mm-hmm.
another. But they were
Yeah.
favorable. They were all favorable things that led to each other that created us, is what I feel. Obviously, I think that's what happened. But
Yeah.
I don't think that there's a certain person, being, thing that,
Mm-hmm.
looked over it and created it specifically. It's just what happened.
That's what I believe. Though. I believe that there's something that is definitely looking over us. Because, and like we said, that person is there. I'm not gonna go on my knees and be like, "Oh my God, I love you. You're the only thing that is keeping me alive, and you're the only faith I have." No, I'm not gonna do that because I'm not the kind of person. I'm just saying there might be something,
Yeah,
and
so
that something can be God
yeah.
or cannot be God. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that, oh, something did this. I'm just saying that there is a possibility of something actually doing it. I'm saying, yeah, you're completely right that the favorable situation happened and the Big Bang happened or whatever, and that's how it led to the creation of the universe. But I believe that something caused that Big Bang, and I feel like it was something that was higher than us, something that was
but then
superior
how
to
do
us.
you explain? So then how do you, so what is that whatever superior being you're talking about? How do you explain the fact that he's supposed to be all good or all powerful or you know
I'm not
that?
saying that. I'm not saying that
So
he's all
then
good. I
so
never
then
once
what is
said
he
he's all
looking
good, all
over?
powerful.
So what is he looking over then?
He's just looking over how the world, how our universe is going on, how we're fucking up the
And
planet,
he
how
does
we're.
nothing about it then. If
I
he was
don't know.
powerful enough to create, no, if he was powerful enough to create the
Yeah.
universe, and if he was powerful enough to form water on earth and
See
uh,
the
human
Earth,
beings
Earth.
from
I feel
evolution.
like again you're thinking too inside the box that it's a he. It can be an entity who doesn't even have the concept of gender. You know,
Okay,
So
it's
basically,
whoever
com-
your energy, your superior
yeah,
being, how did it have
yeah.
the power to create the universe in the first place, but then
I
not
don't
have
know.
the
I'm
power to prevent? No, but then you have to answer with logic, right? That's why we're having the
yeah.
podcast.
No, that's the
Okay,
thing I'm saying. I don't know that. I don't know that. What is the superior being? I just feel like there is something up there, something that has to be doing all this because it's fucking crazy, bro. It's fucking crazy. That's
acha.
and I can't really answer this with logic, and I'm really sorry about that. I should back it up with logic, kind of, but I can't really think of a logic other than this that hey, the conditions in which all of this happened was fucking really insanely lucky, and I believe that there is something that made it happen. You know.
Actually, okay, so like if you would move on from like this, what is
Hmm.
your take on the atheism and agnosticism take, like on people that are atheists and agnostics and stuff like that?
Talking about atheism, like completely rejecting the existence of God, like atheism, I feel like okay, I get the point of why somebody can be atheist. That life has not done that person well, or he has not seen the evidence, or he needs evidence to believe in it. Whatever. I completely understand that. But to completely reject the existence of God, I feel like that is a more backward thought process. क्योंकि
Like I
क्योंकि
feel
अगर
I feel like
if you're completely rejecting it without having evidence of it not existing, then I would be then I would be like, yeah, it doesn't make some complete sense because there is evidence pointing towards it that God
Okay,
doesn't
okay. So
exist.
I
you don't
just
But
understand
at the
then.
same
Okay,
time, there is no evidence to prove that there is God as
okay,
well.
fair enough. So like the definition, by definition, an atheist is one person who believes, who obviously every atheist in some ways agnostic because they don't really know if there is a God, if there isn't a God. But
Yeah, exactly.
what most atheists say that even though there may not be conclusive
Can you just
evidence to
lightly
say,
explain agnostic to
yeah,
like the person who's hearing,
okay, so if
like
someone does
layman's
not know the
term?
difference between atheists and agnostics, is just a quick overview. Atheist is someone who obviously, like you said, rejects the idea of there being a superior being, and agnostics are someone that believe in the power, believe in the fact that we don't know. That's what their motto is. Like we cannot say there is a God, and we cannot say there isn't a God. So in a way, atheists and theists both in a way are agnostics, but a pure agnostic is one that does not have the evidence to prove either. So what atheists say is that even though there may not be conclusive evidence to say that there isn't a God, atheists believe that the evidence that they have can be construed as circumstantial enough to say that there
Hmm.
isn't a superior being, and people should not be
You
dependent
consider
on it on
yourself an
any way.
atheist?
Yeah. So my take on atheism is, I, by definition, I fall under the atheist, uh, category of people, but
Yeah.
I won't necessarily call myself an atheist. Uh, for the only reason is, I mean, but by the by what true atheists are, they try to enforce their opinions on theists in
Hmm.
general, and that's just not me. Like, I don't want to fall under the category of an atheist because there's so much baggage that comes with it, and
You
I
just don't
just want
want
to
the
think for
label.
myself. Yeah, I don't want. I just think for myself, and
Hmm.
like the what was I saying? And
okay. So I have a
yeah, so I
question
cannot
for
call
you.
myself an atheist. Oh,
I
huh.
have a question for you. Do you have faith in something?
No, so
Hmm.
I think for myself, like I don't have faith in
Hmm.
anything because I don't. Which if I had faith, then I would not come under the category of
Yeah.
either
An atheist.
agnostic or
Yeah.
a theist in general.
Yeah.
I don't want to call myself under a label because I still use words like goodbye. And for people that don't know, goodbye is um an adaptation of the words "God be with you" that people in in the past, in like the 17th century, used to use "God be with you" when someone used to leave, and they combined it to make it "God goodbye."
Oh, I
So I
didn't know
still
that.
use
I
words like
really didn't know
goodbye,
that.
I don't know
and
that.
so yeah, and I still say goodbye. And I would say now to say, and I feel like a lot of people in India and especially our age like to call themselves atheists, but then they would still write in their history chapters, they would still write BC and AD. Like अगर तुम क्राइस्ट में बिलीव ही नहीं करते हो तो बिफोर क्राइस्ट एंड आफ्टर क्राइस्ट कैसे हुआ?
But that's how they've just been taught
No,
it. Like
they
they've
should have
been
no, but
told
they
a
should use
timeline and
BCE. They should use BCE versus CE, right? Like before Common Era and Common
yeah,
Era. Then that's what they
makes
should do if
sense.
they're such true atheists.
But वो भाई वो बंदा तो एग्जाम पास कर रहा है उसको घंटा फर्क पड़ता है
Okay, yeah, fair
like
enough. Fair enough.
So
like अगर see if I called myself an atheist and if I was a complete atheist and I would be like be a bro इधर BCQ है I will not put before Christ
No,
I'm an
that you
atheist
should just
that
use
is
it.
just
Like
being
I
like
say on a
fucking
subconscious
getting
level.
triggered over shit that nobody gives a fuck about
So that's what I'm saying. So
like
that's a true atheist. That's a true atheist. I
yeah
still use AD and BC, which is why I cannot call myself an atheist per se.
so basically, like out of this whole
hmm.
discussion that we had right now, so Earth, you don't have a specific certain
it,
faith, correct?
No.
yeah
Once you do, you believe that there is a certain higher energy.
yeah there is something superior yeah
Okay, so
I
even
don't know whether it's God or not
I feel like it's good to have faith in something. I mean, at least like go ahead in your life. Like, it's just good to have faith. It's like hope, faith, all of that. Like,
yeah
and so do you guys believe in the saying that like everything that happens for a reason? Or do you believe that
yeah
the
I
reason it happens? Like, whatever happens is because of me. Like, I'm responsible for all my actions and everything that happens.
Yeah. I
no
mean, no. Now again, you're
I
getting
believe
into a
that
different
everything happens
debate
for a
of
reason
this. Again, we're getting into the luck karma debate. If you're talking about
yeah
what
but
happens for a
all that
reason,
revolves
or if अगर
highly
हिंदी
around
में,
God
Yeah, it does.
अरे
It
अगर
does
तुम हिंदी में,
God, faith. It's all connected. Idol worship.
It highly revolves
Why
around
do they
God.
worship him? Because they have
What
so
revolves
much
around God?
faith.
Just
See,
just believing that things happen for a reason is
the
kind
sequence.
of saying that things happen for a reason that have been said by a superior being.
Exactly. So, uh,
So a superior being, that's what her question was, that do you believe that things happen for a reason, or do you believe that things happen because I caused them to happen? Like,
Yeah, so
her
because
yeah,
when
I
question was
mean,
that, and it completely makes sense, and it is completely in line with the debate and in line with the conversation.
people worship somebody, like worship an idol or a person or anything, the reason they do that is because they feel like क्योंकि मैं pray करूंगा इसलिए जो मेरे साथ होगा होगा, you know.
Exactly.
That's the
Exactly.
reason they're praying in the first place. I mean, obviously there is good
Hmm.
faith also, that they're just praying to be blessed and to just have a good life in general also, but also because कि मैं pray करूंगा कि मैं exam में pass हो जाऊंगा, मैं pray करता हूँ कि like a person suffering from a disease gets well, all of that, like it's
But exactly at the same time, there's a con to that, because it's like, if there's a homeless guy on the street, it would do him better to go and find a job rather than going to a temple and
exactly, yeah,
sitting
I
there for 10
completely
hours
believe
and
in
praying.
that also, like definitely, like there are some things in our
So you're
country.
saying there's a basic dynamic to it.
Yeah, yeah, so
There, there's a
there are
basic, like, one cannot be too much, one cannot be too less.
yeah, the situations that take place in our life, I definitely believe that
Yeah.
obviously we are responsible for it. This is our life. These are our lives. We should, like, we do things that lead to other things because of our
Yeah.
actions. I also feel like there are other things that happen that are
Yeah.
beyond us that we can't control. So that's where I feel
Like
like,
this could, like this pandemic, for example.
yeah, I mean, obviously something started it, but
Yeah,
see,
like something started it, but like right now we can't do anything about
yeah.
it.
And so I was reading up, so I don't know when this was, but I read something that said that I was reading up actually these stories of certain survivors from like terrorist attacks, and
Yeah.
so like the twin towers and all of that. I was just reading a few days ago, and I saw that
Mhm.
like one of the people, like her alarm didn't ring, so she didn't end up going there for work. There was somebody else who
Holy
was
shit.
stuck in a traffic jam, who was getting late for a meeting, so he didn't make it. So I feel like all of that
Things happen.
happens for a reason, but it does not justify the other people who obviously lost their lives. Like all of this happened. I know, like, it doesn't justify anything. Like, why did they
Yeah.
have to die then? Like, I understand all of that completely. But
yeah,
I
but
feel
Okay,
what
Mike,
is,
Mike,
how
Mike.
is
I,
this
I feel like Arth
correlated
is
to
gonna
the
explode.
God?
I feel like Arth is gonna
No,
explode.
I'm
Yeah,
not
Arth, go
exploding.
ahead.
I'm just not able to. No, I'm just trying to. I'm trying to understand a different perspective. I mean, we're talking here is because three
Yeah,
of us
of
have
course.
extremely stubborn opinions, and that's what the fun of the podcast is. But I'm trying to wrap my head around the fact that how is luck related to God? I mean, I can't. Like me
definitely,
personally, I just can't correlate the fact that if that girl का alarm didn't ring or she didn't get up और वो बंदा मीटिंग में लेट पहुंचा तो वो उसका luck था.
so
It
what,
was a coincidence.
what is luck?
It's a coincidence.
Coincidence.
Yeah, but again, like,
It's
then
coincidence.
Okay, fair enough. Coincidence. But how did it happen?
अरे
How
तो
did
how
that
did anything
one
happen?
day? No,
How
no,
can I learn how to walk?
no.
ये तो
That
any
is because you
any
put in effort. That is because you put in effort and your muscle memory kicks in, and that is different. That is not luck. That is
no
not
no.
coincidence.
How did
Coincidence is
walking come into the first place? Like you're asking very wrong questions to the God debate. Luck and
uh,
coincidence is one thing, but to say कि भगवान जो भी करता है अच्छे के लिए करता है या भगवान जो भी कर रहा है वो हमारा नजर रख के कर रहा है is like I said in the beginning of the thing also. अगर वो उसका there was someone looking over that two people that said कि मैं मीटिंग में लेट पहुंचा और वो बंदी जिसने बोला कि मेरा अलार्म बजा या नहीं बजा मैं उठी नहीं और मैं बच गई पर उसकी जगह 2000 लोग भी तो मरे ना तो what about their
the first thing I said.
that is exactly what Meg
so
just
what is why is
told.
God not looking over them
But
then
then
why is God not
God
looking
is no. It's not like God ने बोला कि ठीक है तेरा अलार्म नहीं बजेगा. It's not like God said it. She's just saying that they were extremely lucky, and there was something that was looking over them that day that helped them
but
out
why
that day.
who
She's
is
not saying that it
deciding
was
who is being looked
God.
over who is deciding who is being looked over
See, okay,
See,
okay.
like we said, like now you said that you're completely that you come into the category of an atheist. This is where our opinions will differ and show the difference.
See, have you
Because
guys?
me
yeah
and Mehak,
fair enough
because we believe in some energy, we believe in something that is above us.
fair enough तो I'm not saying कि you all are fucking idiots कि how
No,
can you
मैं
do this
मना
I'm
थोड़ी
just
ना
trying to
कर रहा हूँ मैं
I'm
मना
just
थोड़ी
asking
ना
कि
कर रहा हूँ
I just have some questions and like the answers I felt were like I'm not completely convinced with it then again I accept what
Okay, but
Even
that,
though I
I
fucking
believe I
believe.
have a good question for both of y'all.
okay.
Can I ask?
Yeah, yeah.
So, did growing up in Mumbai in a house that is well done for, you'll have enough money, you'll have everything that you ask for, well privileged. Do
Yeah.
you think that in your household you grew up religious, or you grew up around religious people,
Yeah,
and do
definitely.
you think that has influenced your
Bro,
influenced your day-to-day life?
Yeah,
my parents though
Like
are
I just
fucking on another scale only. Like I'm on what? If I'm a one, my parents are 100 when it comes to the
no,
religious
even
thing.
my grandmother, she used to
hmm
wake up at 5 o'clock. She used to pray till 7, and then she's like full puja part, everything. And then she used to have a breakfast. Then she used to her exercise. Then she used to pray again, and then we used to have like at least one puja every single day where we would recite some things which I never understood. And we never asked her कि दादी इसका मतलब क्या है? She's like, अरे तुम सीख जाओगी, तुम सीख जाओगे. That's all she said. कि भगवान है ऐसा नहीं बोलते ऐसा नहीं बोलते दैट्स ऑल आई एवर हर्ड ऐसा नहीं बोलते पर क्यों नहीं मतलब कुछ गिव मी सम एविडेंस कि इसलिए नहीं बोलते दिस इज व्हाई वी डोंट डू दिस इज व्हाई वी डोंट डू दैट दिस इज व्हाई फुल स्टॉप यू नो but I never got
hmm
any of that so that's why I was never
what
convinced.
about what about you, Arth?
No, my parents are fucking religious and a half, and I'm completely opposite. And the funniest thing is that wait, there's something on my phone that following operations will be performed to lower temperature. Jesus fucking Christ. Fucking this 1 second.
Jesus fucking did you just say Jesus fucking
Yeah,
Christ?
why?
I thought you were an atheist.
That's what I said. I still say, oh my God, and Jesus fucking Christ. That's why my whole definition was, yeah, I wouldn't call myself under that category. The only reason is because I still use common connotations and phrases which are a part of every day-to-day life. And so, getting back to the question at hand, uh, the family thing. My parents are super religious. Like we have every year we have Ganpati at our house, and
Hmm.
fucking like 100 people come, and we feed
Hmm.
100 people, and most
I
people are
know.
Both come.
yeah, like all of you all have come, and like I don't understand, like अपना करो, पर तुम we pay the Pandit ji like 3-4 grand. I don't even know how much, but like 3-4 grand to a
Definitely
Pandit
more.
ji. Give that. If it's more than that, that's even worse. 3-4 grand get food that can afford
Yeah.
to eat food.
Yeah.
We are feeding them, and we're not feeding charity. उसके ऊपर से we take our गणपति का पुतला to विसर्जन करने के लिए,
Yeah.
और वो वहां पे पानी खराब हो, वहां पे वाइल्ड लाइफ खराब हो, कुछ नहीं, भगवान. And I had such a and like I have such a problem with it because like my Masi, we do it together with my Masi. Okay, my Masi is fucking amazing. Like otherwise she's great. So if my Masi listening to it, Ritu Masi, like I don't have any knocking against you, you're super cool. But the thing is, after the whole thing happened, and we had dinner after the Visurgent thing, okay, and I didn't go into the water, my brother did, and they had my Masi and my mom and everybody freaked out. Ki, he's almost an adult. How is he not going? He's the next head of the family. Why is he not going into the water? And I said, ki, because my beliefs are way off. And they gave me a different funda ki, because the family has a code involved. So अब यार ये फैमिली गॉड भी है फिर कोड भी है अब तुम डिसाइड करो कि मैं किस पे ध्यान दूं पहले आई एम सपोज टू हैव इंडिपेंडेंट बिलीव्स बिकॉज आई एम सपोज टू बी इंडिपेंडेंट चाइल्ड इन एन इवॉल्विंग सोसाइटी सो आई हैव एन इंडिपेंडेंट थॉट बट नाउ टू फॉलो फैमिली कोड
Hmm.
मतलब like
That's, I mean,
मतलब
obviously, like a lot of things come into question then when it comes to God, becomes family, it becomes family matters, all of
Yeah.
like it definitely it has like a
But
lot of
like you think about it, like हम लोग की life इतना heavily revolve करती है around God. Like if you take your school life, your
yeah, but
holidays are based on
also
God.
especially because we live in India.
Yeah, that is true. That is completely true. But you take any school, यार, Christmas है,
no, but
गणपति है, Eid
I'll give you
है.
an interesting thought. I had an interesting thought. This is not mine. This is Greer. I'm not really sure what his
Yeah,
actual name.
comic.
He's a comic, Richard Greer. I think his name is that only. So he had this interesting thought, which I had like in India especially we have like 3,000 fucking gods. I don't know 3 crore. I don't know how many ever fucking gods that
I
there
think
are.
3 million
Or
or something. I don't know.
what? Basically like a super high number. And even if you don't
Yeah.
believe, like if you're like a Christian or like one of y'all, uh, a belief in a superior power.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
you all believe in one God, right? One thing, not God, one thing. And
Hmm.
I
Monotheism.
believe in yeah, whatever. So you believe in one thing, and I believe in nothing, right? So compared to the 3 million ka tag, I believe in only one less thing than you all do.
Hmm.
Like, get it?
Yeah,
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 definitely.
So, so like, your people cannot should not come at
yeah.
people that are normal people and say that they don't follow one thing that you all don't do.
But even though it's one thing, it's a massive thing, you know. Com-
And again,
like considering the
we
fact that
have
we're
our
in
faith,
India,
and
considering in fact that we're in India, like I'm like you're my friend. If you don't believe, you believe. I don't care. You're my friend, and I love you, and that's awesome. That's great. We've been friends for a long time. Amazing. But coming to the point where people like me, that I've grown up in a like I want to talk about myself a little. Growing up in an extreme religious household as well. Wanted to. So I didn't even know that I could say no to God. You know, and I feel like our generation understands that well. That okay, you don't like God, that's fine. You don't want to believe in God, that's cool with me. But when you're talking about the older generation, they're like, oh, तुझे God नहीं पसंद है, नहीं ये तो पाप कर रहा है, ये तो ये कर रहा है, वो कर रहा है, ये बाप रे शुभ 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 राम राम. They start, you know,
I know
they just
the
want
same
to
thing happened with me. The same thing happens
exactly
with me.
they just want to force, like I believe this is like an older generation thing.
Yeah,
They
like
want
there's
to
imposing
force it
their
down your throat.
yeah, yeah, definitely. That I agree with because that's the same thing that
They've
Exactly. This
grown
is
up
just
in
yeah, that's the same thing that happened with me also. Like my daddy would
it's just religious. It's religious fundamentalism on a micro level. That's all.
okay, but
no, I don't like it's crazy. It's crazy because it's like right now I'm in Mexico and I'm in a house that is a really extremely Christian house. And like I have two brothers, like two host brothers, and they've been from day one they've been told that Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior. So they have never even considered the option of they don't even have that option. And I just find that that is
also I feel like it
bad
also
to
depends on
do.
person to person. Like people who are easily like convincible and all of that, they can't think out of the box. Like we are like that. Our personalities are like that. We were able to
Mhm.
think outside what our families taught us, but I don't think everybody has the power to do that. And at least like with us, I don't think
Yeah.
our families will kick us out of the house with what we believe because they are open like that. But not everybody is like that. So even that also
Yeah.
comes into question. But I think with this whole debate, like we can, like I think for whoever has, like whoever, whichever three people have made it to the end of this podcast, I hope you enjoyed this insight into our opinions, and we will be back with another podcast next Saturday. So thank you for
Yeah.
listening to us,
Y'all
watching.
can listen to this on
Yes.
Spotify, on Apple Music, and please, if you're listening to this on YouTube, please leave a like and comment if you liked it, and please subscribe
And
as
yeah,
well.
you should actually comment if you're an Indian or if you're not. It doesn't really matter. You should comment what
Please
your
let
belief in
us
God
know
was also.
whichever,
Yeah,
whatever.
it'll be really awesome to hear some opinions from the
Yes.
audience as well when it comes to opinions.
Because we will get only like 5-6 comments. तो वो 5-6 comments सुन के हम लोग इससे खुश हो जाएंगे.
Yeah,
If you guys want us to do any other topic, anything, just please let us know, and we're open to all of that. So thank you guys again. I hope you guys enjoyed
Set up
this.
an Instagram page also, which the link will be in the description.
Yes.
yeah, we're gonna put it in the description or something. I don't know. We're gonna do something.
Yeah.
Still figuring out. We guys, we're not
All right.
professionals. Shut the fuck up. We're not
Yeah.
professionals.
All right then.
Thank you for listening
Chalo.
to the Down Syndrome podcast, guys. Bye.
See you guys.
Bye.